Mega Man, Capcom's super fighting robot, has officially been in hibernation for nearly a decade, but the community has kept the beloved icon alive and kicking during this hiatus. On this Cygnus Destroyer special, we're gonna take a trip to 20XX with the Blue Bombers fan games and mods. If there's one thing that I noticed in my ravenous search for ROM hacks, it's that the fans love Proto Man. There are a ton of games that feature Rock's older brother. In fact, SephirothX's Mega Man 5 mod from 2000 precedes the actual first playable appearance by the character, and he replaces the traditional protagonist without a hitch as he stops Dr. Wily's evil plan in order to clear his name. The Red Renegade even enters the 16-bit realm via X-Stuff's Proto Man 21XX. The intro text from Dr. Light states that his creation was severely injured and had to be sealed in a recovery capsule for 30 years, resulting in our substitute hero waking up to participate in the events of X. It's great to see Zero and his inspiration interact with each other, and I approve of X-Stuff's decision to program him to be a total badass that's superior to X at the start. Speaking of badasses, Falchion22 fulfilled Keiji Inafune's initial vision of the spin-off by giving Zero the spotlight in Mega Man Z. Z occurs in a parallel dimension where X is the dominant Maverick Hunter and rescues Zero from the crushing grip of Vile without a single upgrade. On top of that, Dr. Wily appears in the power-up capsules instead of Light and promptly instructs his masterpiece to kill X. It's an intriguing change to the ordinary plot, but the mission objectives are otherwise the same. Regardless, both of these Super Nintendo hacks are of the highest quality, and I definitely recommend checking them out. Returning to the NES and continuing the reversal of roles is The Adventures of Base 2, which was produced by Savak Drak. Base 2 is basically Mega Man 2 with the twist of putting Dr. Light in the villain seat as he programs the 8 Robot Masters to kill the title star. The levels retain the elements from the source material, but the color palette and layout have been altered. Extra platforms are added, and the Quickman lasers and other obstacles are multiplied to a hair-pulling extent. Aggravation aside, Adventures of Base 2 provides a peek into the potential that Savak would tap into for Battle Kid, and anyone looking for a tough but fair challenge should seek this out. The concept of recasting the lead is one that's common in the hacking community, but mods of this variety are mundane in comparison to the oddities that branch off the beaten path. Take Mega Francesca, for example. No one but hardcore 8-bit enthusiasts will recognize Francesca from Vic Tokai's blatant Mega Man ripoff, The Cryon Conquest, but those that do will be glad that Corkstendo brought Francesca into the 4th installment. Francesca already shared many traits with Rock, so she fits naturally into the new location with her magical wand and Rush by her side. Mega Francesca might just be another in a long string of sprite swaps, but you've gotta respect Corkstendo for choosing such obscure subject matter. The Blue Bomber becomes the Blue Bombshell in Mega Girl. Mega Girl is essentially the 1987 debut with a feminine makeover. The heroine has to destroy, date, the 6 suitors in spectacular fashion with a dazzling ponytail protruding from her helmet. The environment and enemies get a similar makeover, with hearts adorning the set pieces and projectiles showing that love is indeed all around. Right from the press fart prompt on the title screen, it's obvious that Mega Girl is a cute and funny gimmick, but Zink's Roll-Chan saga kicks serious booty. Rock's sister may sit on the sidelines for the canon storyline, but Zink proves that she can handle the Buster Gun like a boss. She's even accompanied with her own animal partner in the form of Tango, the adorable Robo-Kitty, proving that Roll is every bit equal to her male counterpart, and I hope to see X-Series reimaginings with her in the future. I mentioned previously that Mega Francesca is the most obscure mod based on Capcom's legendary franchise, but the one that came completely out of left field and took me by surprise was Tom Servo. Cassidy's Mystery Science featuring of Mega Man 3 is the oldest featured in this review, but its lack of impressive visuals is more than compensated by its sense of humor. The typical Rogues Gallery is hilariously replaced by Kenny from South Park, the Terminator, and frickin' Gamera, and Cassidy did a pretty good job of transforming the familiar foes into these pop culture icons. He even paid tribute to the classic Comedy Central show by labeling the buildings with the D13 logo. Needless to say, it was a delight to step into the virtual shoes of Mike and Crow's wisecracking companion, and I know that my fellow Misties will enjoy it just as much as I did. I don't know much about My Little Pony, but a viewer told me of this altered version of Mega Man 3, and I knew that I had to check it out. The story revolves around the titular fiend's attempt to rule Equestria through the evil clones of Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and the rest of the gang, and it's up to Twilight Sparkle to foil his scheme and save her real friends. Dr. Discord's Conquest follows the Tom Servo formula of devising an entirely original adventure from a pre-existing mold, but retired Brony went over and above in his efforts, going so far as to borrow assets from non-Mega Man titles. Fluttershy's stage and a subsection of Discord's headquarters are lifted from Kirby and Castlevania 3, and there's even an area that combines Ninja Gaiden music with a DuckTales moon setting. Say what you will about My Little Pony, but Dr. Discord's Conquest is one of the most creative fan games I've ever played, and I applaud Retired Brony for its amazing work. A Mega Man ROM hacks video should include at least a few where the Blue Bomber remains front and center, and Ika's Rockman No Constancy fits this criteria. To cut straight to the chase, the infamous Constancy is a brutal but incredibly designed mofo. Everything, including the dreaded Quickman lasers, are cranked up to 11, and I couldn't finish a single stage in the half hour that I spent with it. In spite of the constant frustration, I really appreciated the care that went into the excellent presentation. The soundtrack consists largely of fantastic 8-bit renditions of X songs, and the backgrounds are beautifully detailed. Woodman's Snowy Fortress is the definition of eye candy, and if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that it was a Capcom production. Rockman No Constancy is certainly not for the faint of heart, but MLG retro gamers might want to give it a go to see if their skills are up to the challenge. The self-explanatory Mega Man in the Mushroom Kingdom by Alex AR brings Capcom's mascot into first-party Nintendo terrain for a magical merging of a lifetime. Rock and the Robot Masters seamlessly transitioned into Mario Bros. 1 through 3 and World, and with the exception of a graphical glitch during the Yellow Devil battle, the two styles marvelously complement each other. In regards to the difficulty, Mega Man in the Mushroom Kingdom is on the easier side of the spectrum, with Dr. Discord's Conquest making this a pleasure to play after the brutal bombardment of Rockman No Constancy. My only major criticism is that the protagonist should have fought Bowser at the conclusion instead of Wily, but that doesn't keep this from being a fun ride from start to finish. We're almost at the end of our journey, and I've saved my personal favorite for last. This one stands out from the previous titles produced by the fan community since it's the only one to be officially sanctioned by Capcom. Yes, I'm talking about the one, the only... could think of a number of words to describe Street Fighter Cross Mega Man, but none of them would accurately capture how awesome it is! This dream project began in 2009 and was developed by Sonic ZH with assistance from Capcom for a 2012 release. The plot simply has Ryu and his peers squaring off against the Blue Bomber as a last-minute celebration of each franchise's 25th anniversary, but that's really all we need for story when the overall package is this exquisite. The presentation sticks with the 8-bit aesthetic, but the level design and music take heavy inspiration from the arcade classic. The default WASD keyboard scheme is awkward and hindered the pinpoint precise platforming, but this was easily corrected after I switched to a USB controller in the pause menu. With my trusty Logitech pad in hand, I had a blast traversing this hybrid collaboration while jamming out to these face-melting tunes, and I can safely say that this is without a doubt the best Mega Man game in years. This phenomenal PC exclusive can be obtained free of charge on Capcom's website, so there's no excuse not to download it and be blown away by this crossover of epic proportions. Street Fighter Cross Mega Man vastly exceeded my expectations, and I can't imagine a more perfect way to commemorate the legacy of the Blue Bomber. Will Capcom be able to top that for the upcoming 30th anniversary? That's a question that I don't have the answer to, but I do know that the community is doing an incredible job of sustaining the spirit of the series, and I'd absolutely suggest clicking on the links in the description below to try out these fan creations. Anyway, now that our time in 20XX has come to an end, I have to don the moniker of the LJN Defender once again. Be sure to come back for that, but until then, this is Matt, aka Cygnus Destroyer, signing out. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, click any of the boxes on the screen right now and you'll be able to watch a few more of my videos. And if you haven't already, be sure to click that red box right there in the corner and that'll subscribe to the channel and you'll be able to keep up to date with all of my current content. Thanks again, everyone.